back to Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas. Today we're going to make an Easter breakfast that's really easy to make, and it's my version of a French omelet. And we're going to start off with 2 eggs for 1 omelet. So I'm just going to crack these eggs in here in my bowl. And the ingredients that you need for your French omelet are a little salt. We're just gonna add just a tiny bit of salt. I don't like a lot of salt, so I just add a pinch. If you want more salt, of course, you can add more salt. And I'm going to add some black pepper, and I add a little bit of chives. Now you can use fresh chives. I'm just using organic dried chives that I got at Target. And basically, how much do you put in there? Probably about half a teaspoon. And then tarragon leaves, same thing with that. Probably about a half a teaspoon tarragon leaves. And then we also want to add some parsley. And I bought some fresh parsley. You can use parsley flakes too if you would like. But I decided to get some fresh parsley here. So I'm chopping up my parsley really fine. And then I'm going to add it to my bowl. And how much parsley? Basically, it's about maybe a tablespoon. All right, so I'm going to kind of stir this up the way my mom used to teach me with a fork. Or the way my mom taught me with a fork. And that is it. That is really all I put in my French omelet. It's simple, it's easy, it's yummy. And I get some butter, and I'm going to add it to my omelet pan and start cooking, so stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back. So we're going to make our omelet. So I got about half of a tablespoon of butter, and I'm putting it in my omelet skillet here. And I'm gonna let that melt. I love that buttery omelet, it's so good. So if you want to, watch your calories, you probably want to use a substitute for butter. But you know what, life is short. Anyway, so I have about a half a tablespoon of butter in here, and I'm gonna let that melt like I said. And then I'm gonna get my mixture. My mixture, once again, has a little bit of tarragon, it has salt and pepper, it has parsley, and also chives. This is my version of a French omelet. And something else I'm gonna put in here, sometimes I put it on the side, but sometimes I like to add it to my omelet, which is bacon. And I'm going to add, I already cooked up some bacon here, and I kind of chopped it up. Just a little bit, like get some bacon bits in here. Yum, yum, yum. And I'm going to add that to my omelet too. Now, when you make an omelet, you want to, let me find there's a certain spatula I use. It's this one, it's metal. I love using this when I make an omelet. You want to make it pretty much on a mid to high flame. In fact, sometimes when I make mine, I make it pretty much on a high flame. And you have to watch it. When you see that the sides are getting, the kind of sticking, when the sides of the egg, it's sticking to the pan a little bit. You gotta really watch it, because when you see that, then you kind of know it's time to flip. But what I also do, I spin it around just a little bit. That also helps move the bacon a little bit too, in case when you put it in, it's all in one spot. But anyway, I'm gonna let it just sizzle just a little bit. When I see that the sides are getting cooked a little bit, then I'm going to bring it to one side, and then I'm going to flip it. So I'm gonna watch it for just a little bit. And making omelets, it really goes super fast. So This is a great breakfast to make for Easter because it's quick, it's in the morning, it's right before the kids are gonna go on those Easter egg hunts, and so it's awesome for you to make. All right, so I can see that my sides, I don't know if you can see that my sides are getting a little cooked there, so I know it's time. I'm gonna kind of press it, or not press it, but tilt the pan. And then I'm going to just move that down a little bit, and then I'm going to flip it. Now, if you have any type of little spillage that comes out, don't worry about it, because I'm going to be putting these omelets into some French croissants and buttery croissants, and it's going to be so yummy. So I flipped mine. I'm gonna let it cook just a little bit more, just like that. I'm gonna watch it. Very important that you watch it. And then I'm gonna flip it again. So it's really, really important to have the right tools when you're cooking, like a spatula. So important. I like to keep all my tools out on my counter here so it's easy access. And I usually just keep them in these all clad containers. I have my wooden spoons here. I have some of my metal utensils over there. So I'm gonna spin this around just a little bit. Looks good. Flip it again. You can see my omelet right there. Looks nice and fluffy. Sometimes I add a little milk to my omelet. On this one, I didn't. You can add just a little bit of milk if you like, just a little bit. Flip it again, and my omelet is pretty much done. So I'm gonna just transfer it to this plate, and then I'm going to add it to some buttery croissants, so stay tuned. Okay, so really quick, I wanted to show you my little Easter tablescape that I have right here. This is our breakfast room table, and since it's just gonna be me and my spouse, I just made it kind of simple this year. And so we have on here our centerpiece is our, this is a really pretty bowl that we have that has some really pretty Easter colors in there, like light green and pink. And then we have these Easter eggs. These are the same Easter eggs I used last year on my dining room table. And these say love, hope, joy, believe, faith, peace. And I think they're really pretty. I got those at Hobby Lobby. And then I have these decorative Easter eggs. And I also put some jelly beans in there just in case after breakfast we want to nibble on something sweet. Also we have nameplates, even that's just me and my spouse, but I thought it would be cute. These egg holders, and I got some wooden eggs that I painted with acrylic paint and put our names on there. And then every table should have some type of little gift. So I have these little chocolate rabbits for us. And then these plates are really cute. I got these plates at Target. They're kind of small, but I think for this Easter breakfast, it's just the right size. And they have a little Easter scene on there. This one has some rabbits on it. And they're really pretty colors too. These placemats are also, they have some green and some kind of like off-white eggshell type of color in them. So I think everything goes really well. These napkins, napkin ring holders, they're little rabbits. These I believe I got at Hobby Lobby too, very cute. And of course, our little rabbit salt and pepper shakers, just in case we need that. So again, it's very simple. It's for a breakfast room table, looks pretty, and I think it's perfect for our little Easter breakfast celebration. So let's go back and see how those omelets turned out. Okay, so we're back. So we're going to assemble our croissants with our delicious French omelet. So I have these really tiny croissants that I got at Target. You can get croissants baked at any grocery store or anything like that. You can make your own, but I wanted to go a little bit easy today, so I just bought some croissants. You can get the large one if you would like, but I thought these small ones were really cute, and it's something a little bit different, and that's what I always look for, something a little bit different. And so you need a serrated knife. And I'm just going to cut that open. And then I'm going to get my omelet and I'm going to cut my omelet just enough to where it's going to fit in that croissant. Oh, that looks yummy. And so if you got a whole bunch of croissants, probably I would say 3 to 4 would be a good for one person to eat, maybe just 2. I'm also going to make a really delicious, this is something, it's a little bit different. It's a cinnamon surprise. So stay tuned for that, and happy cooking. Okay, so we're back, and this cinnamon surprise that I'm going to show you how to make is pretty easy to do. It kind of reminds me of French toast. But what you need, this is depending on the number of people or how many you would like to make. I have 4 slices of white bread. You can use any white bread you want. And you want to trim off the edges. Make sure those edges are trimmed off. So I'm going to do that quickly. You can probably use the scraps for maybe the birds, feed the birds outside. And so once again, I'm taking off the edges, the crust, just like that. And I have 2 more to do. Let's just put 2 at a time. Let's see if I can do it that way, save a little time. There we go. And once you have this completed, some of the other ingredients you're going to need for this is 1 egg. Of course, if you're making it for more people, you might want to make that 2 eggs. You're going to need about 1/3 of a cup of sugar and maybe about a tablespoon of cinnamon. So I already mixed my sugar and cinnamon in this plate here because that's what we're going to need later to roll our cinnamon surprises in. And you need a shallow bowl, and I have one here, and I'm going to use 1 egg. Like I said, of course, if you're making more, you want to increase that to maybe 2 eggs. And you're going to need approximately 2 tablespoons of milk. Now notice I said approximately, so it doesn't have to be exact. And I'm going to just whisk or stir, I should say, my egg and my milk together. And then what you also need is, now this is, you can kind of fill this with anything you want, but I'm going to use Nutella. I just want a little chocolate on Easter. And so I'm going to place my Nutella on these little bread slices, but before I do that, I want to get a roller, and I'm going to roll my bread down a little bit. On my bread slices, I want to flatten it, so make sure they're flattened. These are really cute to serve. It's going to go great with your French omelet. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Mexican churro, but I like to call it my cinnamon surprise because the Nutella part, that's the surprise. Anyway, so I'm going to flatten those out, and I'm going to fill my bread slice with some yummy Nutella, and I'm going to place that in the center. Now, kind of spreading Nutella sometimes is a little tricky. It's almost like peanut butter, and you could actually use peanut butter for this too if you wanted to. But you want to spread it. You don't want to go to the ends. You want to stay mostly, give it a little border, okay? a little bit of border around. And so I have one done, and yummy. And then I'm going to fill the rest. And then we're going to move on to our next step, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're back and I'm gonna show you how we're going to roll our cinnamon surprises. So as you can see, I have my slice of bread, I flattened it with my rolling pin, and now I'm just going to roll my cinnamon surprise like that. It's gonna look just like that, hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to roll mine up, and then I'm going to place it in my egg mixture. That's why it reminds me so much of when I make French toast. You can make French toast, by the way, since you're making a French omelet, but I wanted to be a little bit international here. All right, so let's kind of roll this one too. And you probably want to use maybe about a little less than a tablespoon when you're filling these up if you're using a regular slice of bread. So now I'm going to dip these in my egg mixture, okay? And after I dip them in my egg mixture, I'm going to put them in my skillet with approximately about a tablespoon of butter, and let those cook until they're golden brown. And then I'm going to place them in the sugar and cinnamon mixture, all right? Okay, so we're back and I'm going to get my cinnamon surprises and I'm going to place them in my hot butter skillet here. Don't forget, these have been soaked in an egg mixture, and you want to cook these up until they are golden brown. So I like to put it on a low to medium heat and just watch them for a little bit. And hopefully they're gonna turn out really yummy, so stay tuned. So really quickly, let me show you up close what they look like as they're cooking. Hopefully you can see that. They're getting golden brown and it's pretty much done. It only takes a few minutes, so you definitely want to put it on a low to medium heat, okay? So let's stay tuned and let's put it all together. Okay, so you want to take your cinnamon surprises out as they are hot, and you're going to just roll them in your cinnamon and sugar mixture, just like that. That's why it really reminds me of a churro, a Mexican churro, but I like to call it my cinnamon surprise. And once again, the surprise you want to put in there is really up to you, but I'm using Nutella, and I think they're gonna be really, really yummy. This is pretty easy to make, it's quick, and it's another great thing to make for Easter morning, for Easter breakfast, and I'm sure your family is going to love it. So stay tuned and we're going to put it all together on a plate. Okay, so we have our delicious little plate here, our Easter breakfast. Let me show you up close what it looks like. Look at that, that looks so good. We got our French croissants here with our French omelet and some cinnamon surprises. And with the cinnamon surprises, you want to also add just a little bit of maple syrup. I'm using Maple Grove Farms here, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it with some maple syrup. Oh wow, that looks really good. Maybe a little bit more. And so we have a very simple, easy to make Easter breakfast, and we have to remember to make a mimosa with it. So again, I'm going to use some orange juice. I'm gonna fill it up about halfway, and I'm using this sparkling wine. Here you can use any sparkling wine you want. I probably put in about a third of the glass and maybe just add a little bit more orange juice. And then add a nice little garnish, right like that. Look how cute that is. Isn't that awesome? All right, so there's our little Easter breakfast. So wishing everybody a happy Easter and happy cooking. Bye-bye.